I hope that the music isn't like consistently like that throughout the game. I hope it's more kind of synth or futuristic kind of music.
Welcome to Night City Wire Episode 3, the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077.
This is showing off the game.
Episode, we're going to start by taking you on a tour
Cyberpunk
of Night
2077
City in a new gameplay video and have a chat with senior level designer Miles. Then we're going to introduce you to the gang.
Living under a rock? Do you not know what Cyberpunk 2077 is? It's like watching an E3 demo or something.
From our quest team. Then before we
came out
finish
like
today's episode, we're going to give
few
you a
days
look
ago.
at some of the incredible finalists in our PC case modding contest. And we have some information that PC players have been waiting to hear. So let's get started.
Minimum specs.
It's time to
I already
take
saw
you on a
those.
tour of Night City.
React? I don't know about React. I definitely would consider myself something like a React streamer. I sit there like I'm dead on the inside when I see something.
Oh my god, Juanita here. Today's news is Novamax.
Hi there. New to Night City? It's not so bad here.
How we feeling today? Cause I feel amazing.
The food.
The
Thai,
face
7 in Haywood. The pierogies down by the dock.
animations look off.
Our home, our pride. And as always, your business is my business.
And this is your world news update.
They'll show some off, or they've showed something off during the night. It looks so much better at night. I wish it was darker though.
Endless possibilities and endless lies.
We are fucked, America. And I don't know how we're gonna fix it.
The homeless population in Night City has risen by 300%.
Crime in Night City is now double the rate than in the new United States.
Oof. So this Night City's a shithole.
You want to be some kind of hero?
That's a fight
Should
the
then.
city won't let you
Looks like it'll be a good game.
on your own. You're fucked.
I don't know, man. Something about the animations on this trailer
Well,
feels
on that note,
stiff.
that's it for today's info flash. Sleep tight, Night City. The grass ain't greener anywhere else.
Like the eyes
Night
or
City.
something.
What does it mean to you? How well do you know its
I
history?
don't know.
Who
I was
was
just
rich
picky.
at night? How many stations are in the NCART system?
See, it looks so
Which
much
city
better at night.
district boasts the best burrito in town? The answers to these questions and more can be found at the address at the bottom of your screen. Check it out and fall in love with Night City all over again.
That's a good view. How often are you gonna be able to get a view like that in the game, though? Yeah, oh yeah, I could get over it. Don't get me wrong, that won't detract from the game for me, but I'm just sitting here just nitpicking about stuff in the trailer.
Well, since Night City is one of our stars of this episode, there is actually quite a lot to talk about. So let's start at the beginning. How did Night City
dude's
come
hair,
to be?
man.
Because yes, it exists
Like-
in the world of the tabletop, but how do you take that and make what we've got now?
Well,
How much product
as
do you have to
can
use to
imagine,
do
making
that?
a city that is as big and complex as Night City is quite the ambitious project. First off, we sat down and we were really considering what is it that we wanted to do with Night City. In a way,
The idea
Night
of
City
making this
is
and modeling
the
this
style
texture and all
of
this looks
Cyberpunk,
like a
right? It is one
nightmare.
of its main characters. We wanted to
Low
make
frame rate
a
animations
city
on the
that
characters.
is very, very
It looks
believable,
good though,
right?
man.
I mean, the word immersion gets thrown around a lot, but really,
Like
we
the
wanted you
world
to be
looking
able to
good
dive into
means
it
more
and
to me
feel
than the
like this is a
characters, which
real
I think is the
place.
opposite of a
And
lot
then
of people.
secondly, we also wanted to provide enough variety between districts so that exploring Night City would always be fun, right? There's no point in making a city that is all same-ish, and it doesn't really matter where you go, because once you've been through one district, you feel like you've been through all of them. So for that, we first off started taking a look at the real-life geography that Night City is located on, and that would be on the coast of California. Knowing that Night City would be a coastal city gave us a bit of insight into what we would expect from the city layout. You'd expect the port, you'd expect huge industrial areas that would facilitate this kind of trade that you would assume a city of this type would have with the world. And then we went through and actually divided the city into
I like
several
sci-fi
districts,
environments
6
like
of
this
them.
in
And
open
some of them
worlds.
are based on the original lore. We decided to give their own characteristics in terms of architecture, their demographics, the kind of people that would live there, and also the function within the city. Each of these districts, in turn, we divided into further sub-districts, which we further characterized using the more
That's something I wonder about Kitsune. Will there be a lot of vertical discovery? Can you actually get on top of buildings or anything, or is it just gonna be all like on the ground? Like, that's a worry I have about the world.
District feels like its own distinct zone without feeling
It's kind of repeating the same
separated from
stuff.
the larger picture, and that results in something that allows the player to easily navigate even the complex concrete jungles of Night City simply by looking around and always having a rough idea where you actually are.
But Night City is clearly so different from anything we've ever created with The Witcher.
Kind of a cool
Can you
trip.
give us some idea about, or some insight into just how big and like how densely packed Night City really is?
Yes, so I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that Night City is easily the most complex thing that I or the others have worked on. The city is super organic, right? It's not like a chessboard layout, but the layout of the city is crazy, and you can tell that it grew in phases, right? Where buildings have been built on top of each other, and I guess the mega buildings that we have showcased are a great example of this. You'll actually see that
Like, being
they
able
are
to go
located
up
on
buildings
some
like that would
kind
be
of
really
pillar,
cool.
you know, and then expand outside, and then up high into the sky, and underneath it you'll have space for other.
Like, let me pause it for a quick. Like, most of the time, like when games have like giant skyscrapers, and I don't know if this is only going to be like a few steps into this, you can't do anything with those. Like, maybe you could see in them with fancy graphic things, but you can't, like, I don't know, like they're just there for decoration. There's not any, like, you can't go in them in any sense of the
other buildings. This yields a lot of interesting experiences when it comes to exploration.
I feel like
That's
most of
the
those
one
will be
thing I'm
on
most
rails,
excited
Kitsune.
about for players
I
to
doubt you'll actually be able to
experience.
get in one and fly
We've been saying
around.
that our exploration is super vertical, right? But what this really means is that it changes the way you explore the city. Compared to our previous games, you won't be able to easily set out on a target in the distance, right? You won't be able to say, oh, there's a castle on a hill over there, I'll try to get there, and then you'll be lost in the way. But here it's much more intimate, much more moment to moment. You might be roaming the cities and get a call by your fixer who informs you about a job nearby that you might be able to do, right? Or you find an alleyway and you walk down one of the many alleyways that the city has to offer, and it's always a surprise. You don't know if you might stumble upon some gangers hanging out that are up to no good. Sometimes, and these are the moments that I often get surprised with, you'd even stumble upon the odd elevator that is meant to connect parts of the, you know, different layers of the city, and it's quite astonishing sometimes to see where you come out when you enter one of these, and, you know, find
That's
that,
something
oh,
I
this
like
is
in
actually how it
open
connects
world
to
stuff
the
is a
world.
lot of
That's crazy. And now
verticality
I'm
and
here.
not
Now I know
just like
there's a shortcut that
a
I
big
can
square
take.
of space, like it goes
again,
up to.
This all serves to really enhance this sense of wonder that we all come to love from open world games, and the whole city is built to cater to that.
I mean, you guys have really brought Night City to life, and I really want to make a point of that. It is a living, breathing
That's something I like
city.
about Xenoblade
So as a
games.
level designer, can
There's
you
a
give
lot
us
of
some
scale
insight
and a lot of
into those little
verticality
touches
too.
that you guys have made? Because I hear you guys have even been placing rubbish by hand.
Oh yes, we've been placing quite a bit of rubbish, and that's certainly one of the more glorious parts of being a level designer or an environment artist, where you get to litter the streets that you've spent time building with the garbage. But it's
Obviously, you
details
won't be
such
able to
as
do that
this
sneaky, but I
we
want
find
that.
really
I want that to some
important
degree.
to make the city feel alive, and also we take great pride in the process of making this. Right? We have a lot of fun actually placing a lot of what we call mini stories. Right? These are little encounters that you can find when you simply walk along the streets. Of course, we have huge quests, right? Side quests. We have lots of side activities that you can do, but it always is nice to just kind of stop down for a minute and take a look at your surroundings that we have so lovingly created, and try to see if there maybe isn't something that you can be a little detective for. Now, one other thing that I think is really, really cool is also the fact that we have actually named every single street in the city. So not only will NPCs be able to communicate their locations or the locations they want you to visit by sort of referring to the street names, but also you will be able to talk to your friends about it in that way, right? Have you been to Poplar Street in Japantown, for example? And I think this is a small detail, but the philosophy that we have with these kind of things is that, you know, many, many small things contribute to the sum of it, which is hopefully then you being able to explore a city that you feel is truly alive and that you haven't been experiencing before.
Well, Miles, thank you so much for giving us your insight. I suppose when the game launches, you could be an official Night City tour guide instead, right?
I might be, yeah. Like, if this game dev thing doesn't work out for me, I might.
What was I gonna say?
Retire and become a tour.
The world is the thing I'm most excited for in Cyberpunk. Uh-oh, got a little bit of a
tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. Now, from the 6th Street to the Valentinos, it's time to introduce you to the gangs of Night City.
Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of the other aspects are cool to me, but like the world and being able to explore and having things that would surprise you are kind of shit I like.
The stronger survive, but that's how things stand. You're either somebody or you fizzle out into nothing.
Looks good.
D.C. ain't a city that lets you get by without buddies.
Be very careful, my friend. We are all so far from home.
Which gang's the city's biggest and baddest, according to the NCPD?
Scavs hold the body count title. Or Maelstrom, depending on the season.
One time, a Maelstrom ganger killed a young kid right in front of my eyes for shits and giggles.
Crumb-sucking psychos.
And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be?
Those dudes look gross, man.
I'm gonna introduce you to our meat grinder. About time we had some fun!
Think Maelstrom never forgets? Never!
I hate these Borg fuckers.
Just a gang like any other, right?
I'll take the Valentinos. They follow God and the Santa Madre. Honor means something to them.
How'd you meet Jackie?
We started out together.
In the Valentinos?
No.
That's all too common these days too, the censorship.
I gotta give style points to the Valentinos.
Looks like some stuff's gonna be a little bullet spongy.
Gangster life, puto!
Quick shout out to everyone in Haywood and Santo Domingo. Lately, the Valentinos and 6th Street have had a bigger bone to pick.
6th Street. Why'd they want to wipe you?
I can't fucking stand Tinos.
Fucking stop! I've dealt with 6th Street before. We do the run, they'll transfer the cred.
Come on, let's go before 6th Street shows up. Shot! Shot! Shot!
The melee might be jank.
Fans in the house, huh?
Hate those bastards. Vomit lofty patriotic bullshit all day. Time to bring on the future.
Any idea how many attacks from behind the Black Wall we neutralized? If the Voodoo Boys breach the Black Wall, we'll all be fucked.
Voodoo Boys? Urban myth, I thought. Just net runners spooking each other.
Hackermans.
You know,
where's my Hackerman emotes?
Voodoo Boys. Best runners in town.
You do not steal from the Voodoo Boys. I see you, always.
For them, Pacifica's just Haiti 2.0. Their own island, cut off from the rest of the city.
This is our turf, our home. Until last week, the animals crawled in.
Animals are the craziest fucking gang in this
There we go.
Breaker skull!
Animals aren't the play here, are they? They're hired muscle. Someone else needed them.
Damn, they fucking
you
swole.
Over, you fucked the gang over. Somewhere at the start of the story,
Jesus.
somebody fucked the corp. See how this works now?
My husband's new Westbrook.
Oh, the
very
weebs.
high in the tiger claws. They did what made the best eddies. Sold sex and black market tin.
Birds upon roids.
See a lot of tigers.
Robot roids.
Know what else they do well? Break the knees of people who ask questions.
I gotta do something.
Shut the fuck up! The tigers will kill us.
Come on, baby. Tiger claws killed
The
one
what?
girl too many, so people took matters into their own hands.
I couldn't read that.
Folk went ballistic. Girls, pimps, outcasts, the whole freak show. It's how the Mox got started.
Think you're some kind of gangoon now, huh?
Us Moxes have each other's backs.
Moxies.
We look out for one another.
Moxies,
You're looking for some company tonight?
How'd you hook up with the Mox?
I thought Susie and the gang could really change something in this city.
Moxes and nomads don't seem so different. Both seem to yammer a lot about community, solidarity. Tell me about the Badlands.
Voodoo or the Weebs, maybe, for me?
Au contraire. This is an ecosystem. Nomads, wrapped in Shiv, corporations, and drifters, they form a complete whole. Remove one
And there's
part,
a lot.
the delicate balance topples.
Here in the Aldecaldos, it all stays in the family.
Yo, where's the deja vu?
Classic dilemma. What comes first, family or the outside world?
This family will go to hell and back.
Everyone in this city lives in their own bubble, and either you fly high or sink into quicksand.
That's a lot more than I thought. November 19th. They better not delay this shit again.
Thank you so much for joining us. I
Or
have
else.
personally been really excited to give people a close look at the gangs. We've shown a little bit on Twitter, but their styles are so distinct.
Wait, what did it say?
I enjoy them a lot as well in our game. I think they're very cool.
But let's start then with the kind of role that they play, because gangs really do play a prominent role in Night City, correct?
Yes, definitely. The gangs, they rule
Oh,
the
Gwent
streets of Night
stuff.
City. You know, they have the newest cyberware, they have the newest weaponry, and they are really a power that everyone needs to take into account when they are thinking of operating in Night City. You will encounter them as you explore the city, of course, but also as you
That shuttle coming
main
down in the
quests, side
background.
quests, different
rocket.
jobs for the fixers. Sometimes you might even get hired by them.
But then, I suppose everybody's thinking then, can you join a gang?
Cyberpunk.
Well, V is a merc, and mercs of Night City are this unique, distinct group that stick mostly to themselves, right? And they get jobs from variety of factions. They can get jobs from corporations, they can get jobs from gangs, they can get jobs from different kind of like influential clients. Because of this, nobody will ever trust.
Still haven't
a merc
decided
to
which I'll
be
go. I'm
one of
probably
them,
leaning towards
right?
Corpo though.
And the gangs are no exception here. They are looking only for like people that they know will be loyal to them, right? And that they will fight for their cause all of the time, not just some of the times when it's profitable to them. So because of this, V will mostly stick to the afterlife.
Nomad,
And
starting out in the desert, dude. I want to start in the city,
this
man.
legendary group of mercenaries in Night City. They get the best jobs, they get the most money, the best clients, and so on. So if you want to become a legend in Night City, you are going to the afterlife.
So we've obviously mentioned distinct style then. So does that mean there are kind of special gang-themed weapons and items and clothing?
I want to be the hacker mans.
Use?
Yes, definitely. There are different vehicles that you can drive, for example. There are cars, there are motorbikes. Then,
Go for
of
Weep
course,
Squad.
there are different pieces of clothing.
We're talking about starter stuff, but
themed
there's the
after
gangs, and then there's also
there are
a
weapons
starting
and
3
so on.
different starts you
So,
choose.
yes, definitely there are things to look forward to.
That was showed in the
I
last
suppose as
one.
somebody who's spent as much time as you have kind of getting to know the gangs, I have to ask, which is your favorite and why?
Man.
So I would have to say probably Maelstrom, simply because they have this unique, distinct feel and this weird aesthetic about them. So the idea about Maelstrom is they are people who want to
What
cross
start are
the
you going,
boundary
Nohead?
between the machine and human, right? They are changing so much of their body with cyberware that they no longer look human, really. On top of that, they are also very unpredictable. It's very difficult to say what they will do at any point when you meet them. At one moment, they can be shaking hands with you, and at the other moment, you know, they will pull gun out on you, and they bring in this element of chaos into the game, which I really enjoy personally.
Oh, Matty, thank you so much for joining us. It's always interesting to learn what your favorite gang is. I think it kind of tells me a little bit about you.
Oh, does it? What does it say about me?
Well, we'll talk about that later. But for now, before we wrap up
I think that's all the
today's
actual game
episode,
stuff.
we asked people to show us their
all the important stuff.
creativity and design a PC case mod.
Check out the PC cases and stuff though.
Our panel of judges selected 5 finalists, and we teamed them up with professional case modders to bring their concept to reality.
These 5 amazing designs will be fighting for the main prize, an Alienware Aurora PC, along with other awesome gaming peripherals.
A 28 Ti, old news.
Alienware, Nvidia, and SteelSeries. Let's see the mods.
I absolutely love this one.
This one looks
the whole
ridiculous.
aesthetic works with each other.
Absolutely next level. Honestly, kind of terrifying.
That one black with the legs looks like the most over the top.
Exactly the type of thing I would expect to find at a trade show.
It really looks like it could have come straight out of the game.
Oh, the chair is the PC. Huh. I think the chair's kind of coolest though. No. Where are you gonna put the one with the legs though? That would take so much space.
To watch the full PC case modding video and to get more information about when the winning design will be available on charity
It's not a spider,
auction,
4 legs.
stay tuned to our social media channels.
Doesn't have eyes, just have
case
hairy
mods,
legs.
It reminds me that we do have one more thing to reveal. If you're going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077 on PC, when it launches
Give me all sleeping.
we do
I
have
think I'd
some
go for the
specs to
chair
share
one.
that I think some of you have been waiting for.
It doesn't seem
The minimum
practical, but it
system
seems cool.
requirements for Cyberpunk are a Windows 7 or 10 PC, an Intel Core i5 3570K or AMD FX 8310.
Oh, that's pretty low.
8 gigs of RAM and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780 or an AMD
These are
Radeon
really low
RX
minimum
470.
requirements.
In the storage department, the game will take up roughly 70 gigs of space, and although it will run off a HDD, we do recommend an SSD. As for the recommended specs, you're in the green if you're rocking Windows 10, an Intel Core i7 4790 or AMD Ryzen 3 3200G, 12 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon R9 Fury. Thank you so much
70
for joining
gigs.
us for episode 3 of Night City Wire. Don't forget that if you've missed anything or if you just want to watch again, we will be uploading everything to our channels shortly, and we will be back soon with episode 4.
I want to play the video games, man.